Hello, all you lovely computer scientists. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be showing off 3 really nice string manipulation commands in Python. rjust, ljust, center. They sound about as much as they do. Right justify, left justify, center. You can guess what they do. They manipulate where the string appears on the print statements and in its own data to justify it, center it, or move it. They're very nice. And yeah, we're going to show it off with examples. So, in Python, you might want to manipulate your string in a way that changes where it appears on screen. So there are 3 commands that are very easily used when it comes to this, right? So we have our string, hello world, and say you want it to be pushed to the right. You would use rjust, which stands for right justify. You then input how long you want the final string to be, and then what you're going to use to pad the string until it reaches that length. We will just use a hyphen for this. As you can see, it is 20 characters long, with the string justified to the right, with every space before that being our fill character. You can do, if I remember correctly, you can do double fill characters. Nope, you can't. Just one fill character. So that does limit you a little bit. Such as, if you wanted to do, say an underscore line, like that, you couldn't. Which is a limitation of rjust, and it's a limitation of its counterpart, ljust. So it works extremely similarly to rjust, but it just pushes the string to the left. As you can see, still 20 characters long, still pushed to the left, still got the fill character. If we go lower, let's say 15, less fill characters. So we go right up to where the string is long, no fill characters. And if you go below the length of the string, so let's say 5, it doesn't do anything. Because what it will do is it will check if the string is lower than however long you want it to be, and if it is, it will fill it up to the amount. But if it is already higher, then it doesn't do anything. Same goes for right justify. As you can see, nothing. And finally, we know how to push it to the left and push it to the right, but there is an almost more important one, the center. Because you can want it to be pushed to the right or left as much as you like, but using just those commands, it's extremely hard to get it to go right to the center. So what you would do is, well, use .center. And as you can see, it centers the string in a way that fits the width and puts your fill character on either side. Now, what happens, you might ask, if you go below? Nothing, once again. These 3 don't really do anything unless you want it to be wider than your string is already. And you might say, oh, so if it centers, it must need an even amount of fill character on the outside. No. As you saw when I put 20 earlier and changed it to 21, there were 4 hyphens here, 5 hyphens here. So if it would result in a uneven amount of fill characters, it will put a higher amount of fill characters on the right side. Because it processes going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, 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 and only then realizes it's got a spare fill character. It doesn't need to be a hyphen, it can it can just be a space. It could be a underscore, it could be a 0, it could be a colon. Your fill character can be anything. But it can't be blank. It can't be blank, as you can see now, and it cannot be double. So it can only be 1. However, you can counteract this if you do want multiple things. Though it is a bit difficult. you could counteract the no doubling of the characters by certain for loops, certain while loops, and other things like that. But yeah, center, left just, right just. That's how they are. Yeah, I'm going to give you an example in a program that you might want. Just a command line interface, how about that? So, name equals input. Who are you? Then it will print hello, name, dot format, name, that should be blank. Now you might actually get to see another thing I like to show like a lot about rjust and ljust. You can do them on strings which are already being modified too. So if we do center 20 and do the fill character of hyphen again, who are you? Obviously Grog. Hello Grog. And as you can see, fill character to right, and you could do it with a longer string. So Grog. There's still fill characters. That's an odd amount, so 1 on the left, 2 on the right. Now you might think, oh, why would you want it to be justified? Well, that's what I'm showing now. If we do rjust, you can have some pretty unique effects. So then print forgot speed commands. Now, just say our name is Grog again. As you can see, since we've justified it to the end, we can actually put like secondary strings which look interesting, right? Because if we do -1 there, then 19. Once again, I'll just put Grog. Nope. Needs to be -2, doesn't it? Yeah, it makes unique effects. And this is a very basic example of where you might want to use right justify, left justify, and center, but it's one that looks interesting. And its most common example you'll see is you'll have your first print and then a secondary print which indicates to a certain thing on the first print without needing to be inside that first print. And it's very interesting when you use it right. And I enjoy it as a command. So yeah, thank you. Thank you all very much for watching the video. I do hope you learned something about, I do hope you learned something in general. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, especially comment because it helps me make better videos, and if it helps me make better videos, you get more, I learn more, you learn more, we all learn more, we're happy, we're smarter. If we're smarter, well, we're more intelligent. Isn't that good?